Today we're going to have a fantastic little adventure, I think. What we're going to do, well, let me tell you where we're at first. I'm on my friend Bruce's farm. He's got a couple hundred acres here, and he's got a bunch of cows, not cows, but sheep and horses and goats and all kinds of stuff. So it's a really cool place to come and visit. We have to keep the gate closed so that the animals don't get out. Wanted to show you this. This is what is called a cattle guard, and cows will not walk over something like that. So if you have one of these up and you have cows, you don't have to worry about putting an actual gate up. This is a stream that comes out of the ground about half a mile up that way, maybe a quarter of a mile. A big spring. It's really beautiful. It's nice fresh water. I wouldn't drink out of it, but it's just nice clear water. Probably some trout in there. Let me show you what we're going to do today and why I'm here. We're going to drive up to the house, but cool barn right here. And if you look right up there, there's a white house. Now, the interesting thing about that house is, as far as we can tell, it was built around 1900, 1910, something like that. There's no sign of any houses having been down in this part of the farm in the past. I have a map from the 1700s, no houses. I have a map from the 1840s or 50s. It doesn't show any house here either. The only house it shows is a farmhouse that's like about a quarter mile up that way where the spring starts. But when I was metal detecting down here, I think it was last year, somewhere right up in here, I was finding like colonial era stuff, like from the 1700s, like a few buttons and maybe a pewter spoon or two. And that got me to thinking that maybe there was a house here before that house was built. And I've looked all around, didn't really find a whole lot else up there because there's so much junk around that house. And by junk, I mean pull tabs and soda cans and stuff like that. But Bruce has done some work up here where he was doing he's in the process of grading off the yard and stuff to get the rainwater to flow better away from some buildings. And he uncovered a lot of pottery and broken glass. I dug a little hole, lots of pottery, lots of old bricks and stuff. I didn't get any relics, but today we're going to try to find some. And that would be really cool because there's no historical record of a house being here in the 1700s. We might be the first people in the whole world that are alive today to figure out this mystery. There's normally about 300 sheep here walking around, but they must be out in the fields right now. They might come down and visit after a bit. What we're going to do though is we're going to park up here, and I'm going to get the shovel and stuff out, and we're going to go look at where I think that house is. So give me a couple of minutes. I'm going to park up here out of the way, and we'll have some fun today. I think we're going to do good. I think it's going to be really interesting. All right, let's go ahead and grab some gear. We don't have far to go, luckily. Like I said, I think this house is built around 1900-ish. Bruce has a picture of a this house from like 1900, 1920. He said it looks brand new, and there's like a Model T out in the yard, Model T automobile. It does have a basement that looks older, the stonework, but I'm not positive. But the beams and stuff definitely aren't that old. I mean, not 1700s, you know what I mean? They're probably 1900s. But anyway, here's what we're going to do today. This is where Bruce is digging up the yard, and he's going to grade it off here. But I dug a hole right here the other day, and out of that hole was coming tons of nice pottery and redware and stuff. We picked most of it up already, but you can see there's pieces of it all through here and here. And a lot of the stuff that I was finding was much older than what I believe this house to be. Even down through here, I was doing something with it, the spigots, I guess. There's some old pottery. That's the stream down there. That's the gate we came in just a few minutes ago. This area just loaded with just pull tabs and stuff, but we'll detect it again. This is an old wagon wheel that Bruce dug up when he was moving the dirt there by the house. So that's really, really heavy. I certainly wouldn't want to have to dig that thing out of the ground. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and set some gear up. You can notice how dark the soil is right here compared to, like if we dug a hole over there, it would be just red from the clay. But this is really black, so there's lots of organic matter in it. And lots of little pieces of pottery. Look at that. And some oyster shell too. That's an oyster shell. Not 100% that these are from the mid 1800s or so, but in 1700s. But in this area, a lot of the houses that have oyster shells date back to then. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and set stuff up. I'm going to redig this hole, and we're just going to dig around in here, see what we can come up with. And right here is an area. You can see this little dip right here. Looks like there could have been a building there at one time. I don't know if that's part of an old 1700s structure or if that's something that was, built in 1920. But let me go ahead and dig that out, and we'll get the machine out and we'll look around a little bit. All right, so I want to give you an update. I got the hole dug, well, partially dug, and I got some pottery and stuff I'm going to show you. Then I'll show you the hole. This is some of the stuff that I picked out of the dirt as I've been throwing it out. I'm not getting it all, but I'm getting some of it. There's quite a few nails in here. Really corroded. I can't tell if they're rose head or not. I think they're too far gone. But I did find this neat tooth. I don't think it's human. It's probably, I don't know what kind of tooth it is. Maybe Bruce will know. But it's probably like a cow or a horse by the size of it, I guess. Different types of pottery. I don't know how old this stuff is. I'm sure some of you guys do. I mean, you probably know that design. This looks like it's got some gold decoration on the edge there. And here's a little bone. That was in the hole too. Some more pottery. But I got to show you something. I dug, this out. And I've been metal detecting this and just get mostly nails. But I just dug one target that's not a nail. It's just really weird. I have here a ball button. This is a button that people would have on their clothes, usually like a jacket, and it's called a ball button because it's in like the shape of a ball. If you look on it, you can actually see some charcoal on there, and I'm going to show you in the hole where I think his house burned down. But that's a button, and if you look on the back, that's where the shank would have been attached right there. Hopefully you can see that. What really is kind of freaky, I haven't found a ball button like that in probably, I don't know, 10 years maybe. And I was out just like a couple weeks ago with a guy, and he dug several of these ball buttons exactly like this. So it's just so odd to see ball buttons in different locations. All right, let me set this stuff down somewhere where I'm not going to lose it, because you know me. And I'll get right back with you, and we'll take a look at that hole. I just threw it over there in that pile. I guess we'll find it later. I'm actually not digging out as many bricks as I did when I first came here. I was digging tons of bricks. A little disappointed, but if you look down through here, these are all brick smears. That's pieces of brick and this pottery all mixed in. This is charcoal here. This is probably from wood that did not burn completely. That's very typical in house fires. I saw some more over here too. I wanted to show you if I can. Yeah, there. See, there's some down this far. So this is an artifact layer right here, all the way down to here. If you look at this crack, that's where I dug it out the last time. I dug out just a little bit underneath that root. But there's artifacts there. I think they probably stop where it gets, if you see the dirt right here, it's a different color. There's not much organic matter in it. It's probably not going to be any artifacts either. So it's going to start from here on up. So we're going to dig around. Troll train. It's always troll trains. Actually, I think there might be something small right in there. Now you'll hear, here, let me turn my headphones off so you can hear all the iron. Or I have it on zero discrimination because I like to hear all the iron, but you can hear all the iron in this pile. All those grunts, that's pieces of iron. Now listen for a squeak in amongst that. And I've already looked through this pile a couple times. I'll throw out some dirt, 2-3 inches of dirt, and I'll look through it. So I hear a little bit of a squeak here. So there's definitely a target right here that's non-ferrous. And hopefully it's deep enough, it's not going to be some aluminum. All right, so my hand, you see it? It's in this hand. Hoping that might be it. No. Maybe. No. There it is. Okay, so that looks like it's probably going to be a little flat button. Wipe it off just a little bit. So yeah, that's a little flat button right there. Flip it over, and that's where the shank would be. The shank is actually broken off of it. So that's good. So we're getting into some artifacts at least. Take advantage of that. All right, I'll put the button over here, and we'll dig out another layer or two, and we'll check it with a detector. I've dug for about a half hour and cut it down a little more. I ran the metal detector over everything, and I got no good signals. Quite a few nails, but no squeakers, so probably no buttons. All right, here's what we have. You can see the artifact layer goes all the way down to, that's the natural dirt there. It looks like there's some darker dirt that trends down that way. Now that could be, you know, a root hole, or it could be where they dug. So we'll go a little bit further this direction. You see there's still lots of pottery in the sidewalls. This is kind of interesting. See how dark this is? This is all the organic soil here. Now this is an area that's mostly clay. But all this dark stuff, and then you run into some clay right here, and then it's dark underneath, okay? So what that tells us is someone dug a fairly deep hole here, and this is a pile of clay that came off the shovel, and they threw it over here, and there's organic matter under it, clay ball, and organic matter above it. So this is something that they dug out. I just think that's kind of interesting. So it might dip down here somewhere, who knows. I have good news and I have bad news. Well, good news for me and bad news for you. Good news for me is that I'm done digging for the day. You see how I dug the hole out here? I've been going around. I haven't gotten any more buttons or coins or anything, and I've been checking. I did a couple of test holes different places. There's pottery in here. I'm getting some pottery, and there's bricks and other things, and you can see some bone down in there. But what's going to happen is I'm quitting because of the roots, and I'm just tired. And guess what? Bruce said that he will come out here with his little mini excavator, and we'll just tear the whole thing up, and I don't have to worry about using a shovel anymore. So I guess that's the well, it might be bad news, not for you. Might be bad news that the video's over. Good news for me though. I'm gonna go off digging somewhere else. I'm gonna cover this in first. You know, he's got all these animals around here, all these sheep and stuff. So I'll gather up the stuff, cover this back up, and we'll come back another day when he's got the mini excavator, and we'll just dig it really easy. And we'll get over into here. This area is really interesting. I tried to dig there last time I was here, but there's so many roots I couldn't do it. So maybe we'll get there with the excavator, who knows. Hope you enjoyed the little adventure. Oh, by the way, that big piece of pottery, this one here, or this china, I guess I should say, I looked it up, and it's like 1862 to like 1898 or something like that. So this could go, I mean, it clearly goes with the age of this house if it's 1900-ish. And a lot of the other china, I'm sure it does too. So it's inconclusive as far as I'm concerned as to whether or not this is evidence of an earlier house. But maybe we'll find out next time. We'll see then, I hope.
Mother Earth, she's got her secrets she's promised to keep, hidden in her dirt or deep in her creek. Mother Earth, she ain't saying exactly what she's saving, where it is or what it might be. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby. I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She don't care if you're dying or if you're living or somewhere in between. Mother Earth, you are my lady, my